Oh, dude, you're not back to recording those game for each other video stuff, are you?
Totally, definitely going to record some game footage, and we're going to come back with Peggle,
No.
because Peggle was amazing.
Yeah, but it's not. We're not doing game for each other's. We're not. What's this? Who's playing? What's going on? No one's talking about it. Why? Because we're talking about something else today. Tom, what are we talking about?
We're talking about Peggle. Definitely talking about Peggle. See, Sam is winning at Peggle.
Yeah, I love Peggle. I really do. It's like a fun, simple. Yeah, I do Dark Souls. I'm fine with that. Hardcore gaming, but fuck it. I really like. Sometimes a nice, relaxing, simple game where I'm a cat with a pyramid thing. But anyway, we shouldn't be talking about games because this isn't really about games. This is footage.
Yeah.
What we've got on the screen is just so there's something dynamic on. Here's something else.
Good.
And we're back. What are we talking about, Tom? It's Tom and Sam here from Happy Things Productions. Michelle Rodrigo couldn't make it.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Yeah, she never turns up for these videos.
She's probably somewhere in Mexico by now.
So we're talking about our latest film, I guess. Our latest shot.
Latest at the time of recording.
Yeah.
Hopefully there'll be more. Pyrobelle.
Pyrobelle.
Yeah, I figured it'd be good because, you know, it's fun to talk about these things. It might be interesting. There might be some interesting tidbits. I enjoy, like, DVD extras. You do. I especially enjoy when the makers talk about their films.
Yeah.
So I figured, well, and I enjoy talking. So why don't I combine those two?
Yeah.
And then I rang you, and you were like, all right. and that's how it's happened.
Yeah, and I figured that, you know, commentaries of films are quite good, but I don't expect people to watch any of our films more than once. So I figured
it's not required.
We should have you watch the film itself, and we'll talk over a different video.
Yeah, there'll be clips of the film and clips of like the outtakes and stuff as we talk about it.
Yeah.
And this is the experimental one that's got a way too long an intro, but we'll start talking about it soon. I'm sure we will. I'm sure we won't just not talk about it.
No.
Boom!
Winner!
Boom! Out to joy! Kick up extreme favor! 10,000. Every fucking time it's 10,000. I think I've got like 100,000 once, and I've put like 20 fucking hours into Peggle. Yeah, 10,000. Anyway, so we shouldn't be talking about the game.
No.
Should be talking about film. So Pyrobelle. We might do this for other films, and we might do director's commentary on some of our really, really old shit, because I think it'd be amazing to go back and just listen to the cringe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Part 1. So Pyrobelle, how did Pyrobelle come about?
So Pyrobelle was a script that you wrote.
I did. I wrote while we were setting up for help me out, Mistake, which is also on the channel. Clip from that here, maybe. We found the actress who we work with, Charlotte Louisa, is fucking, and still is fucking incredible. We might actually be working with her again, because I wrote 2 scripts for her, basically. Yeah. Like, it was like, I think she'd be good in those roles, and they're both completely different roles. And she had a showreel, and I was a bit like, well, those are the 2 things I haven't really seen in her showreel, so it'd be good for her as well, type of thing. And because she's willing to work for expenses, or was with us, though I'm not, if we could pay and afford to pay, we do. Yeah. It's just we don't really ever work to budgets, but we're pretty straight on that. We always cover expenses. No one loses money working with us.
No.
Only time and dignity. But anyway, so I wrote Pyrobelle as one of those 2, which was the superhero-y aspect for her. But then when we came up to, like, we were ready for our first rehearsal, we realised she had 2 dates free, and then she was going to London.
Yeah.
She's actually back. But normally when an actor goes to London, that's it. They're pretty much dead to us because they're going to go on and be a success. Yeah, and then they don't want to put up with that shit because they work with real people who do real films.
That's the point when actors are like, oh, look, you can make money from this. And then they suddenly realise, oh, I should probably charge for my services.
Yeah, you can make money from it and people actually know what they're doing. Yeah. Don't just throw shit at walls. So fuck these guys.
Yeah.
Which I'm all for. You know, most of the actors we work with have been amazing. So, wrote the script for her, and she really liked it. She liked them both, and she called them, and I quote, they're both roles to die for. Now, that might have just been blowing smoke up my ass, but she didn't need to work with us, and she was going to London anyway, so I felt like, oh, that might be true. And it so, like, gave me an ego boost. I was like, a really good actor likes something I wrote for them. But then, like I said, she went to London and couldn't do it. So, she had to drop out. Which sucked, because it changed. We had to recast both roles.
Yeah.
But we'd already... okay, so Pyrobelle is 2 characters. Dr. Deeds and Pyrobelle. Charlotte was going to be Pyrobelle. Tom's taken over for a little bit. And the other role was Dr. Deeds. I always knew that was going to be Danny. Because Danny is, like, fantastic.
And she just has the right sort of persona for that role as well.
Well,
Like, her radio voice is, like, the perfect Doctor voice.
She's a radio presenter, a TV presenter, an actress, both for film and stage, a wrestling manager, a voiceover actor who she's just incredible, and she does all this awesome stuff. And I always really wanted to work with her. She's friends with Grace, who's Grace Fisher, another really talented actress who we've worked with on lots of things.
Yeah.
And always really wanted to work with her. And we've come close and actually filmed some stuff. Here's some random clips of stuff we did with her. But none of it ever made it to the final edit for various reasons. I had to drop out, hospitalised, laziness.
Not hospitalised because of us, hospitalised because of illnesses, the unforeseen by us.
That's what we're telling people.
Yeah.
It might have been Michelle Rodrigo. She's pretty fucking violent. But, so Danny always was going to have that part.
Yeah.
And she was straight into it, and you could see her as a part, I could see her as a part. Charlotte, I saw her as Pyrobelle because I wrote it for her, but then she had to drop out. And I remember, because we just got the foam, which was avalanche foam spray.
Yeah.
And I was like, right, how do I make sure this doesn't burn people? And you came up with, we'll spray a bit on the arm.
Yeah.
So I'm like, with every actor, whenever I know it's something weird, like, hi, I want to spray foam on your arm, I have to text or email them before and make sure they understand. And sometimes I'll try and ring them. And Charlotte had a shitload going on, so ringing her was nearly impossible to get a reply. Danny, the only flaw Danny has is it will take, if it's really important, she's straight away back to you. But if it's not really important, or it's something for her benefit, she's not back to you quickly at all. Like, you just have to bombard her with contact. So I'm like, trying to ring Danny and Charlotte, and neither's getting in touch, and then Charlotte can't get Charlotte down for dates, and then she had to drop out. So Charlotte went, but Danny stayed as Dr. Deeds, and I remember because it was like the night before we were going to do a rehearsal, the first rehearsal that it was, and the rehearsals were big because Danny had job commitments and everything, so it was like very limited evenings we were going to work on it, while we're also working on this other film, which is currently called Anti-Hero, but that name will almost definitely change.
Nah,
which is
it's favourite name now. The
other script I wrote for Charlotte, who we had to recast, but the person we recast is now unavailable, and Charlotte's now back available for a bit. So we're going to, hopefully, that will be out in a few months, or filmed in a few months at least, and we'll see how that goes, which is a completely different thing again. But anyway, so then we had to recast. And recasting, like, I don't know, how do you feel about recasting? Because
I don't have a problem with recasting, but there are times. I didn't have it for Pyrobelle. I had it a little bit for Anti-Hero, where you get to the point where you're set on that is that's who the character's going to be, and now you've got to find someone who looks and acts like that person.
I don't know about looks like that person, but like when you see the role,
which we did manage to do with Anti-Hero. Pyrobelle, it wasn't so much of a problem for me because the person we got to play Pyrobelle, like when we were casting, I said to you, I think she could be the role, but you saw Charlotte.
I was going to move on to that, but Izzy Bryce, which we'll move on to Izzy, but just finishing. So casting, right? When we first started doing this shit, once we cast a role, for me, like I was all like, oh, it's like I want my relationships to actors to be like Johnny Depp and emo punk guy. What's his name? Edward Scissorhands director, Tim Burton. Yeah. So I'm like, I want all like my actors to be that's their role and they get into it and there was no one else and stuff. So I found it really hard recasting. But as we've gone along and you figure out that it fucking happens all the time, and sometimes it's just down to you didn't get it right, and sometimes it's down to time commitments, and sometimes it's down to that person just doesn't actually fit, like isn't right for it.
Yeah.
I've got more and more used to it. So I wasn't too bothered about recasting, but I really struggled to see who was in it. Who, out of all the actors we've auditioned and met recently, who we could just quickly go to and see if they could play. I was like, oh, we're going to have to do another casting call and stuff. And then you were like, what about Izzy?
Yeah.
Now, Izzy was effectively the understudy for Mistake, the film that Charlotte Louisa ended up in. And what impressed us with Izzy is everything was on her end. All the contact, she pushed contact with us. She pushed, like, after contact with the audition, she pushed, like, have you made a decision yet? have you cast yet? And we like were waiting back to hear back from people, and to finish auditions because someone had been ill and rearranged, and she just kept everything up, like really seemed like she really wanted the role. So and then when we didn't cast her, she was like totally, I don't want to say like professional, but totally like understanding, but stayed in touch and everything about it. So I was sort of like, yeah, maybe that could work. I'm not all that sure, but we'll see. Bring her in. And we did. It was a Monday because I finished work at my shitty job, and then I was absolutely knackered, and I had like an hour to shower, eat, and tidy the house before they came around, and then we recorded.
Yeah.
Do you remember that day? So in my living room, I might throw some clips in of like we just sat them down on the sofa and started them reading it.
Just gets things wet. Fire burns them.
Yes, but Water Girl, I mean, she stopped the Galactic Trio single-handed.
Actually, I helped with that.
Really? Because I only heard about Water Girl.
No, I was there.
Well, we should tell people about this.
No, it's there was an accident. I've got to be in my car.
So my direction.
They just pop
The
all the
direction.
time.
I can't do that. And I can't blow the bubbles.
Either.
I can't blow the bubbles, and I can't.
I have no idea.
I can make a proper sound tune, that's about it.
I'll actually take my tongue
That
and
was a big So I cut out a couple of bits.
I'll be like my year 11 class in GCSE.
I saw you moving the pen. On the
Yes.
page before?
Are you being tired? Why do I have to do this? That don't even make sense, kids. You can't use the word tie for making you do work.
Okay.
Part 2.
We've never really done that before. I realised.
Huh?
We just had them read through and through and through and change the lines and cut things back, and like we've done like on the day changes to lines, but we've never rehearsed like that. Why haven't we rehearsed like that? It seems like such a good way to do it. I absolutely recommend get your actors in and get them reading it.
One of the reasons was the whole money thing. Because we pay expenses.
Cool. I'm taking over Peggle now.
Cool.
You fucked up.
And I fucked up every single one of those games. I basically just moved it and then clicked. Like, I don't think I did well in a single one of those games.
Well, I don't know why you're talking about the game, because we're not meant to be. Why don't we get actors to rehearse? Is it because we're too busy fucking up in Peggle?
Yeah. So generally, like, a lot of the time, it's just been a case of... It's really hard, like... With us not paying actors, like, we're aware that they have to take paid work, and that's why we've had to recast and all sorts of stuff.
We have always said to anyone, and that's gone for crew as well, because we've had like, do you remember Nikki Burton, great producer? Like, if they've got a paid job that then conflicts with our dates, they take the money.
Yeah.
Every fucking time. We have never said like you should stay with us.
Yeah.
Which I think is an honest,
Yeah.
We're dumb, but we're honest. I like to think.
Pretty much. So like because of that kind of. It's always been like, oh well, we can get them on the date for filming. But they're really busy, so fuck it, we'll just have them on the date for filming.
Yeah.
I think most films we've had, there's been discussions of whether we should have rehearsals, and I think this was the first time we actually bothered. Sort of committed to it.
The only other time we ever did it, which I probably can't throw a clip in, but that film will be up on YouTube at some point, probably in the not too distant future, is our feature, Modern Task.
Yeah.
Where we got, do you remember David Warden and, what's his name? Wayne Russell, so good actors, and they basically arranged it themselves to come around my house, and they basically insisted that was them, that was all them, and they delivered such a good performance on the day, and I absolutely did not pick up that that's what you should do, and that these seasoned actors, including winner of LA Film Award Best Actor, whatever year it was that Wayne Russell won it, that's the way that's the way you get real shit. So anyway, they came and rehearsed, and that really refined the script. Like, there were some lines that just didn't make sense anymore, some lines that just, like, yeah, you've said this 3 times, fuck off, Sam, type shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Then... They both were the role. Like, Izzy and Danny, like, both fitted the roles well. And I gotta say fair play to Izzy at that point, because we also did the foam test. Like, poor Izzy. We sprayed her with foam, like... 3 times because we wanted to test different. Like we had they're basically like aerosol cans with this foam in.
Yeah.
Avalanche foam, and we sprayed her like with 1 can, then with 2 cans, then with 2 cans, trying to keep them together. Danny did the spraying every time. Like it's like Danny, you're going to be doing this. So and Danny was not.
She was definitely not unhappy about it.
No, she was very enthusiastic about it. And Izzy Trooper, like, kept on, and then we wanted to try something else, so we tried another spray, and then we did the spray that we did the fire effect with, and then we did the on the deck. That's like 5 times.
Yeah.
And she never complained. It was just like, yeah, absolutely. Izzy, say when you're ready. Okay.
Sorry.
I didn't think it was going to be that big.
Me neither.
I didn't think it was going to be that pressurized.
So, we did the read through in the living room.
Yeah.
And then we, and that went fine. That went really well, refined the script. And then we got them back for another reading and we decided we wanted to set up the location.
Yeah.
Now, you had like a big epic location. You found that a bit difficult because I was like, right, we're pretty much ready to go now. And you were like, no.
Yeah.
Talk about that.
So, like, when I picture, like, this is meant to be a doctor's office. When I picture a doctor's office, because of, you know, the loveliness of America, like, I picture the psychiatry office that is, like, really well fucking laid out, and you've got, like, this gorgeous couch and all this stuff, and that's how I picture it all the fucking time. I can't not picture it that way. So even now, like, I look, and that doesn't, like, the film doesn't look like a doctor's office to me.
Yeah.
It works, and I've been in a doctor's office that's the type of doctor's office we use since, and it doesn't there's no couch. There are no couches, people. It's bullshit. It's just a normal doctor's office. It's fucking chair and a desk.
Well, it's like, the room we used is my bedroom.
Yeah.
Right? Which we also used for Mistake.
Yeah.
And it's handy because it's big. It's mine and Sarah's, my girlfriend's bedroom. It's big, handy, white wall motherfucking thing that you can just make into anything with the right locations. Because you were basically the one that said to me, like, yeah, you can absolutely make this room. It's just a room. It's a room with white walls. You can absolutely make it into a doctor's office. But you weren't quite, because we took the bed out.
It was the prop side of it. It's like, I can't picture it as, like, we can do it, but we don't have the props to do it.
Yeah. Well, what did we use in the end? Because we wanted, the things we didn't end up with, we wanted a skeleton. We didn't, but we got your skull, which is on the desk.
Yeah.
We were very particular about the desk. Like, we've got my little Games Workshop model, that's the leader of my army. Yeah. He ended up covered in foam and now needs repainting. I've not done him yet. But we wanted, like, a whole thing of, it was almost like she's moving in with boxes of binders, and then it was just, they're not going to get in the shot. And we had that shrimp, I have a shrimp tank. I like, me and my girlfriend, we breed yellow shrimp, and it was like, I don't want to fucking unplug and move this, so it needs to be in the room. And you were like, well, we'll just leave that side, and we ended up leaving that. And the colour scheme originally was going to be, what was it, like, I wanted red, green and black because they're the HFP colours. Yeah. Which you were never that keen on, to be fair. You were always like, that's shit. That's a shit mix for an office. But we can throw a bit of red and focus on green.
It should be warm, essentially. Like browns and yellows are sort of the colours you want. And whites because of the clinical style. But we didn't want it to feel clinical, so we didn't want it like that. Most of that sort of feeling has been added in post. Like, it's been warmed up in post, and the other thing we really wanted, but rental property can't do it, was pictures on the walls.
Yeah.
But yeah, rental property, like you can't be putting pins in walls and stuff.
Well,
so.
Rental property with a high deposit I want to get back.
Yeah.
And a house I like living in. That was the issue. Like, there are other properties I've lived in where it's just been like, fuck it. You know, I have put so many posters up. One time I put posters up to cover the cracks from other posters that I put up. Like, that was the level. But with this property, I'm like, this is a really nice house. I really like it. And we've got 2 films out of it.
So,
the only thing I can think that was missing, and ironically tomorrow, from the day of recording this, he'll actually be bringing it, is we wanted a plant. One of my brothers has created, he's grown spider plants. And he's been banging on and on about them, and we were going to get a big spider plant for the office, you know, a classic like office plant. But he never fucking brought it. And he just texted me the other day, just do you want that plant? Yeah. Well, which one do you want? And he just sent me pictures of all these different plants. He's got, you know, my brother Nathan. He's like, and he just went like, you can have a big one if you want. This means I know he likes me. This level's a fucker.
That other big one's too big.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so we didn't get the plant, which was going to be the green. But apart from that, it pretty much, we set it up. We became absolute experts at getting the bed out. Yeah. Moving a big desk in, which is the desk we used. Moving a bookshelf and a thing. and that was fine. And that basically the original setup that we created was almost the final set. We just ended up moving a few more shelves in for background stuff.
We moved in. Basically, we realised that a lot of the shots were tighter than we thought they would be.
Yeah.
For how big the room was. Like, we set up the room originally without shots directly in mind. And then when we actually got everything was sort of tighter, so we sort of crushed everything in, bookshelves and stuff, so that the room looked more full.
Yeah.
But that was about all that changed.
So the setup pretty much became there, and then lighting became the issue.
Yeah.
Because we have big motherfucker ARRI redheads.
Yeah.
Right? They are, how many watts? 500, 700, 600?
800 watt.
800 watt. They wash the room.
One of those, like, fucks the entire room.
It doesn't fuck it. It creates an effect, a certain effect, which in the right context is really fucking great, but not what we were looking for at all.
And if you want a really, really fucking hot room, you can still get away with using all frame, doing proper 3-point lighting, and like properly closing down the aperture, putting a load of ND filters on and shit. But you will be sweating your fucking ass off by doing that. Like, you will be in without a studio, you will be ridiculously warm.
Yeah. So if you're filming midwinter in an incredibly cold garage,
with
boom.
snow,
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah. But otherwise, to be avoided.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want them on any longer than you have to. So we had to get new lights in.
Yeah.
But Dados, the type of lights we wanted, spotlights.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah.
Way too much. What were we looking at? I think
Dados are about $3,000.
$3,000, yeah.
For a free light kit. And then sort of after that it'd be LED panels, which are nice, but again, they're a lot cheaper, but still kind of expensive for one light's like £500.
We went to a home base, and we went to... Was it just home base we went to? Was it another store as well?
Well, we went to home base for a work lamp for Antihero.
Yeah.
But that was never going to be
the other
set
short
up
film.
Yeah. But essentially we went Amazon.
Yeah, we
and
got blue light bulbs.
Jace's shop.
Yeah. Another thing we realised when we did a light test was that with the changing of the daylight, because we got them in to rehearse, didn't we, at the we were set up, and we realised the daylight, because it's 2 windows either side, big open windows, you can't fucking control that daylight.
The room we filmed in, like, both sides are open, and I think one of them is south facing. So throughout the day, like, the light drastically changes. Like, within an hour of each other, like, the light changes quite a lot.
I have to, like, I'm going to give a shout out to Rob. He won't have, if he's watched this, he won't have got to this point because he's told me before 50 minutes is way, like, anything over 50 minutes, he just, fuck it, it's way too long for anything. Yeah. But, it's not south, it's slightly southeasterly because he's got a fucking compass thing and he had to, like, get it out and go, like, it's technically not a south-facing garden, because I was all like, yeah, we get sunlight. You still get sunlight. If the word south's in it, you get sunlight. It's just not completely south, pure south. But what garden is pure south-facing?
Very few.
Yeah, you can. I think if it's pretty southerly, you can pretty much get away with calling it south-facing, motherfucker. Yeah, fuck you, Rob.
And what constitutes the facing of the garden?
Yeah, Rob can shut up. Anyway, so away from that. So the light changes drastically. Yeah. And also very daylighty because we were filming summer. Yeah. Well, when did we film? Was it late spring, early summer?
It would be summer. It was
summer. Summer was full on. So we had real issues with the contrast between red bulbs or white indoor bulbs and the blue from the outside. Yeah. If you remember. And we actually did a lighting test. Danny couldn't come down for it. So we just set it up and I sat there, if you remember, and took some pictures. And I was like, no, it's not right. And I think you got a bit annoyed at me because I was sort of like, yeah, it's just not. And you're like, well, you could do this and you could do this. And it was like better, but still not good enough. And I was still like, it's not right. And yeah, you got pissed, I think.
Well, I was going for the warm aesthetic, which I've put in there anyway.
We achieved that. Yeah.
But yeah, like, there was certain, like, particularly when the light was harsher, you had, like, blue casts at certain angles on people. Yeah. So it looked a bit odd.
Which I just didn't want. I wanted, like, I'm not saying Pyrobelle is, like, the pinnacle of what we can do lighting, because it's not, and it was just, basically, it became 2-point lighting for a lot of it. it was going to be 3-point, and then we took one of them out because it basically made such little difference that we only really used it for close-ups.
Yeah, basically the extra light, we had a backlight, but because of the windows on either side, which were at the back of both of them, you couldn't tell there was a backlight. So we just added it to, I think we added it to the key light just to light up their faces slightly more. We just stuck 2 bulbs on there. Because they were just, they're energy-saving bulbs. They're just 100-watt equivalent bulbs.
But blue.
Yeah.
Blue bulbs.
Daylight equivalent.
Daylight, okay. I call daylight blue. I'm sorry. Like, I have a very simplified. Indoors red, outdoors blue, and that's how I know lighting.
Yeah.
Part 3. So then we got the lighting sorted out, and I remember another thing. I think it's Izzy, might be Danny. Someone always leaves scripts, and I had all these scripts with all this like really good writing on and like blocked out and everything.
Yeah.
But people weren't taking them. And it's like, how are you going to rehearse? But anyway, so that all worked, right?
Yeah.
And then we got to the day of filming, and Izzy and Danny are like before that, each rehearsal they'd done, it's getting better and better and better between them, and they're playing off each other. Do you know what I mean? And the only problem is Izzy can't say the word colossal.
Colossus.
Colossus.
She can say the word
colossal.
I stopped the colossal, and she never gives me credit. I stopped the colossals, not her. I stopped the Colossus, not her. I stopped the colossal. I stopped the colossus. I stopped the Colossians, not her. I stopped the colossal, and she never gives me credit. I'm sure I'll learn the word. Colossus. The Colossus.
There's a line. It's a really throwaway line about like I stopped the Colossus, not her, but all anyone talks about is what about the hospital's Pyrobelle?
Yeah.
Shouldn't you be more careful about it? Some ridiculous in that. Because the whole gimmick of the film is that Pyrobelle's actually sort of possibly a villain, but a hero. But her sister's like a proper hero, and that makes her all bitter and angry and stuff. And also Dr. Deeds might be a hero as well, kind of thing. But or at least have powers. But yeah, she kept saying colossal. I stopped the colossal, and then kind of it just kept happening. She couldn't say it. And there's another word she can't say. Lasagna. She always says lasagna. But she said it like, oh yeah, it's like that other word I can't say. Lasagna. It's like, what? What do you mean lasagna? Oh, it's lasagna. It's like, lasagna. I can't say lasagna. It's like, you're not saying it now.
So don't get Izzy to play an Italian.
No, you should absolutely get to play an Italian. But actually, I think one of the few times she actually said it is one of the ones we actually ended up in the film, because I'm pretty sure she just said Colossus in the film.
Yeah.
But that was happening. But apart from that, there were no issues at all with how they were acting or building up. So we were all like, I felt ready to go. You weren't as convinced.
No.
You weren't happy with the lighting, I think, because we'd storyboarded.
Yeah.
But the storyboards were vague because it was very much like, okay, so we're going to have wide, closer, close. And then a few extra gimmicks for a few of the throwaway things, like the fire, specific camera shots for the foam spraying and the hand on fire, which we tested out. And I'll put clips from those tests in here probably. And then on top of that, the standing up shot of Danny, where she stands up and like, raw agnokinesis. But apart from that, it was...
With the exception of like those bits of blocking, like when I read the script, I had a very different idea of like what the blocking would be compared to what you had.
Yeah.
And when we discussed it, it was like, well, I think it's just a conversation then, because I could only I could storyboard the shots that I could think of, but none of them would fit what you were thinking. Yeah. So it's like, it's a conversation piece. It's back and forth across the table. Okay, so we need all of these shots, and we will get the film if we get all of these shots.
Yeah,
so we'll just film it lots of times.
Yeah, which is what it was. Like it was meant to be a conversation piece, like an actor's what would you say, vehicle? I think is the word they use. An actor's vehicle where they can sit across from each other and produce something using performance. Like it wasn't supposed to be a big actiony. Elaborate thing. Part of the reason for that is because Anti-Hero is a big actiony elaborate fucking motherfucking effects. This guy's getting his face cut open, oh my god, wow type shit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Pyrobelle was meant to be slightly different. So we ended up I pushed us to go. I was like, well, they're acting great, they're ready to go, they're all happy. The only issue was the lights, because we set a date for them. I think also Izzy was going to university, which she's now at. I hope she's doing good.
Yeah.
Every time I sort of just give her the casual stalk on Facebook or Twitter, she seems to be doing something very sociable, which is very Izzy. Izzy seems a very outward, go-getting type person. So I was like, well, the sooner we get it done, the better. I think we're ready. You were not as convinced. The lights came very last minute from Amazon. I think, didn't we have to send a light back, or was that an anti-hero light?
That was an anti-hero light.
Anti-hero light, but it arrived the same sort of time.
Yeah.
You have a go, Tom. But don't talk about Peggle. Just have a go.
Fight Club!
Sorry, I was sipping coffee because Tom decided to randomly shout Fight Club. Well, that worked.
Yeah.
That's staying in. So anyway, then we did the lighting test with me because Danny wasn't available. And I was all like, it needs to be... No, the second lighting test was with me too, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then it was fine. So then I was like, right, we're good to go. And I think in the end I just sort of was like, Tom, please just follow my lead. I think we're ready to do this. Just go. Which you did, to be fair. Like, all the, like, you were like, I at least want this, this, and this. We had or thought we had.
Yeah.
So then filming came. And we actually, we had set 2 days. We set 1 day to try and get the bulk and then a pickup day for anything we missed. We ended up filming it in one, which I was pretty pleased. It was a long day. And it started late, because Danny's always late.
Yeah.
Danny just is late. She was late this time because there were holes in her house and she had to have, like, people around to look at them, which is a fair reason to be late.
Yeah.
I don't know what all the other times were about, but Danny's late.
Yeah.
Amazing actress, great performance, always going to be late. So, knowing Danny was going to be late and that Izzy was driving in, I figured we had time to go get food. So we went and got him like some very simple sandwiches and some crisps and some fruit, and I was like, right, that's lunch sorted.
Yeah.
Which is better. Charlotte Louisa, she just got a basics pizza. She's got as simple as the pizza.
She got it to herself.
You're sorry?
She got it to herself.
Yeah, and then she kicked off about eating it to herself. But that's a story for a different... That's if we do the mistake version of this. So, we started with the wider shots, like, sat them down, and it started quite... It didn't start great. Like, it was very... It wasn't at the level it had been before at rehearsals, so we gave them... I remember I wanted them to run through once to try and limber them up and warm up, but we ended up giving them 2 or 3 rehearsals and just, like, go again. Yeah. I remember... I hope I wasn't too hard on Izzy, but I remember being to Izzy, like, you're playing it too over the top, you're going too dramatic too quickly, because there was a lot of lines where she was, like, almost instantly shouting them, and I was like, this is supposed to be a piece that builds, and it is, like... Yeah. We'll talk about how successful or not we think it is and what we feel about it at the end, I guess. But, like, it was supposed to be, it builds up and emotionally builds up. And I was saying, like, if you build to that level there, you give yourself no room to build any further. You're just stuck in that role and it just becomes shouty. And she picked up on that really well, to be fair. Like, Izzy... And it was director's feedback, I felt. And she could tell me... I always say, like, in your own time and tell me to fuck off if you don't agree type thing, you know. I'm not... I don't think I'm if anything, I'm a very insecure, weak director as compared to the very strong Nazi director.
Yeah, you're more sort of the, I think I know what I want, but I'm not 100% sure, so I'm going to tell you what I want, and then just be so vague that hopefully you'll get it.
My biggest problem, right, has always been, I don't know what I want, I just know what I don't want.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, like, actors will do things and I'll be like, yeah, it's good, let's go again, because I don't quite feel I've found what I'm looking for. Or they'll do something that's so out from what I want, like, that I'll instantly get a reaction that's, I know I don't want that, but I still then don't know what it is I want. I just know it's not that. So then it can be like... But, like I said...
It's interesting, because the reason I don't direct is that I know exactly what I want. But I don't know how to fucking phrase it so people get it. So you gave up. Which is where me and you butt heads a lot of time in planning, because it's like, well, I think it should be like this, 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 this. It's like, no, that's not how I see it. But you still can't tell me how you fucking see it.
Because I don't know. I just don't see it like that. What's this colour? I don't know what it's called. Well, is it blue? No, it's not that. Was it yellow? No, it's not that one. Well, what other colour? What about this colour? I don't know. It's a colour. Well, what do you mean it's just a colour? There's that kind of thing going on. But yeah. So, where are we? So they rehearsed a bit, and then it got quite good. So then we just let them do the talky bits.
Yeah.
And we did the main thrust before we ate. I remember saying to them, like, look, we've got... Basically, there's 3 elements to this we're filming. There's the main bulk, which will be you two interacting, talking. Then there's the close-ups and the effects, like the close-up specific camera angles for effects. And then there's the foam spray at the end. Like, they're the 3 moments. So we'll leave the foam spray till last because that's like a one-shot, get it? Like... We can't clean Izzy up and keep spraying her with foam. It's gone and it's got. The close-ups we'll do after food. We'll try and get all this wide stuff and the bulky bits. And we did. Like, I think it was a late lunch. I think it was like 2-3 o'clock before we finally ate. And I felt quite bad because Izzy arrived first, so she got first dib on sandwiches, which they weren't the nicest. They were just like Asda sandwiches. And then Danny was like, oh, I don't really like the other sandwich. And then I was just like, oh, I'll just raid the fridge if you want. And she ended up creating this really nice sandwich. And it's like, oh, Izzy got nothing. Poor Izzy. She thought she'd won the race, but really, she was just the hare. Tortoise Danny got the lunch she wanted.
Part 4.
So then, it was going really well at that point, I felt. It was like time-wise, I was keeping my eye on it, thinking like, oh, I don't think we're going to get this done in the day. But these guys have said tomorrow's fine for them, so that's not really an issue. But in terms of the footage we were getting, I felt like we were... Personally, I felt like we were getting it. How did you feel at that point? Can you remember?
I didn't feel like we had all the shots, but I remember like actually talking to you like at the time.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't work out what shots it was that were missing. We do actually know, like, we did actually miss like a couple of shots that we wanted. But I'd written down... I just basically sat and wrote down all the shots. And that wasn't one of the shots on the list. Like, I couldn't work out what it was that we were missing. So it came down to very similar to us actually planning the film in the first place of, I think we're ready.
There were 2 shots that we didn't get. And one of them we just got at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And one of them we didn't get. And it was only like after we realised. But... Again, we'll talk about that at the end. Why don't we? This is building up. Give the audience a reason to fucking stay listening, because we've probably been prattling on for God knows how long at this point.
At least an hour.
Maybe this is in parts. Hello, welcome back. This is in parts. So, we got lunch out of the way. Nice, good chat lunch. Talked about wrestling a lot, because Danny's a wrestling manager and had just at that point wrestled, managing her bloke against Grado, and Grado had kissed her, and I thought that was fucking amazing because I fucking love Grado. Who doesn't? If you like British independent wrestling, Grado's like the name that you know.
Yeah.
I think Izzy was just sort of left like, oh, I don't really like wrestling. I remember she asked if wrestling's fake, which is only someone who doesn't know about wrestling could ask.
Yeah.
No wrestling fan ever asks if it's fake because no wrestling fan ever gives a shit if it's fake. Like, it's not about if it's real. Did that person really get hit by a chair or any of that shit? It's about fucking getting to chant and shit. So I think we talked to Izzy as well. Like, I don't want to make Izzy sound like she wasn't involved at all because she was great, like dead fun. And then we went back and we filmed the close-ups bits. And I remember this. It took a bit of time because their performances were absolutely great, but they just weren't right.
Yeah.
It wasn't working, and they were like, why isn't it working? And I remember, like, in my genius moment of, like, I sort of know that this isn't what I want, but I know. I was like, what don't I want that's happening? And it was like, well, they keep just talking. It's like they're talking at each other, and I don't want it to be like that. I want it to be like a conversation. So I just said, like, you're not really playing off each other. Try playing off each other more. And the next fucking take, it was like, boom, they were back on. And the majority of that take and the one after are the ones in the film. And that's when, like, Izzy started doing these amazing facial expressions, especially about Water Girl. All the stuff where Izzy's talking about her sister Water Girl. Like, she's looking at Danny and pissed off at Danny, and she does this yes, which is like, yes, kind of stuff. I was like, yeah. Because Izzy's like, I think Izzy's a confidence actor, if that makes sense. Like, once she's got an instruction and it's working, she goes to fucking town on it. And, like, all that like, in the film, she pulls a book out.
Yeah.
And we've edited so it's like Danny's looking at her with the book and stuff. That was all Izzy. It was like, Izzy go to town, and Izzy does go to town.
Yeah.
I can't recommend Izzy highly enough, actually. I think I don't think she's studying acting at university. I'm pretty sure it's something else.
I think it's something to do with sports.
Yeah, sports psychology or something. And I know she's involved with teaching and stuff. She's very, what's the ballet? She's very every woman. But when she wants to do acting, like she'll be a credit to anything that she's in. Big fan. Definitely want to work with her again. And Danny too, of course. It was nice to finish a film with Danny in. But yeah, so they like... I remember that moment, because I still live off that moment, as that was a moment when I directed. And it worked.
Which, in the build-up to this...
Dear Dream Journal.
In the build-up to this, part of the reason that this is such a big thing for Sam is that on the last film, and...
No, not just the last film, in rehearsals
to
and
both
every
of these
fucking
new
thing.
films, people kept... I think it was Charlotte and possibly Danny?
Yeah, direct.
Kept referring to me as the director.
Yeah.
Which really bugged Sam.
Well, it wasn't just that. Also, people keep telling me, like, I do stuff, and then people say, you need to direct. It's like, well, that's what I'm doing. It's like, no, you're not. It's like, what? Okay. Well, it's like, I don't call myself a director. Like, the credit is a director. That's the credit I get, because the jobs I fulfill come closer to that than your jobs, right? But I've always just said, I'm a filmmaker. Like, that's it. I'm not a fucking director that has all these things, because it's me and you. It's me, you, and Michelle Rodrigo. That's it. Used to be a guy called Pete. He died.
Yeah.
Occasionally Nikki's involved or someone, but generally it's just me and you. So I just do what I think is right and try and do stuff, and then people say, direct. It's like, what do you mean? Give me a physical proper task. Tell me what it is you want. Do you want me to tell you how to act, how I see the scene, discuss the character with you? Give me that. Don't just say direct, because what the fuck is direct? Like, Coen Brothers, they direct way different to Tim Burton, who directs way different to Transformers director dude, who directs way different to Kevin Smith. Do you know what I mean? Like, there isn't a standardised thing.
Whereas I call you a director because you said you wanted to be a director. It's the same reason you tend to call me an editor.
In film school, I did, yeah. But that doesn't mean I don't call myself a director, do I? One day, maybe.
Sometimes.
When do I refer to myself? I introduce myself as I'm Sam, my director. It's
If
like,
people ask you to refine your role.
yeah, oh yeah, then I say, well, I'm kind of the director. Well, I say writer more than anything. But yeah, so anyway, so that moment happened, and I was like, yeah, dear Dream Journal, today I directed. It felt good. It was everything I hoped it would be. After that, the close-ups, we got there pretty good. The hand fire thing, like I said, we'd rehearsed it. So that effect went off without a hitch. We tried making a bit of an arty pull focus.
It's in there.
Is the pull focus in there?
Yeah, it's not very good, but it's in there.
But
I didn't know it the way that it was designed to be.
Yeah.
But it's the shot we used.
Okay. But we also got like a standard safety one with Izzy walking about. You know, there's flames on her.
Yeah.
That we're at the borderline of the foam spray now. So we got all those, and we got Danny standing up, and we wrote down at that point. You wrote like all the shots, and then I added some random shots that we weren't actually getting just for shits and giggles. I believe Lesbian Kiss did not go down particularly well.
They weren't a fan of that one.
Now you were.
I
And
found
then
it.
you're like, oh no, Sam's written down Lesbian Kiss.
Well,
I was like, well, that was
you wrote it down just before I was about to tell the actors what we were doing.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm
As
going
in-
to tell the actors what's on the list.
I wrote that down. Like, one of the things with actors that we do, you can play Peggle for me if you want, is I always tell them we're not very professional. And that's the type of shit we do. We write messages and fuck around and always try and distract and make each other laugh. That's just part of what we do on set. It's a fucking good job we tell people, because that moment there, if we'd been with pros, they would have,
Yeah, so I'm there like, right, so we need to do the fire shot, the foam shot, and then it's the lesbian kiss, and then we'll move on to... And I just both stood there like, what?
Well, no, Danny, like, me. Danny, did the, these boys, so immature. Yeah, do you know what I mean? She did that kind of thing, which is like, you're not being funny. Because Danny's actually got a pretty good sense of humour.
Yeah.
So then we got all those, like, effect shots, and all of those we got right. The standing up, the fire, the Izzy walking around, fire on her, like, they all worked as the clean palette we can edit on these shots. Then it came time for the foam spray. So the spray we'd settled on was 2 cans Danny holds them, tries to
close
keep them
together.
as close together as possible, and just spray until the can's out. Now, I assumed, because we did the spray test we did with Izzy, like
We did 3 times.
we did 3 times, and they're like maybe 10 seconds each.
Yeah.
Now, I assumed like that the cans would be nearly empty at that point, because the instructions is like one can might last you an entire Bugsy Malone show, and you're probably spraying it like 5-6 times. So I'm like, okay, so this isn't going to last long. We'll use, because I ordered 4, 2 for tests, 2 for on the day of filming.
Yeah.
I'm going to put the whole unedited clip in so people can time how long this takes.
I can't answer this!
That'll do.
Yeah, it's long.
Yeah. If I can figure out in editing, I put a timer there, so that's the time it took.
Yeah.
Like, and that wasn't even the end. That was when Izzy burst out, and it was like, oh shit. Like, I think you can hear me at one bit. I went like, oh, because I'm like, oh, it's lasted too long. I'm like, oh, we need to stop. But I don't want to say stop because it's like, well, I couldn't control myself, and I got, oh. So poor Izzy got like we nearly killed Izzy at that point. And then, like a trooper, she like acted it through.
Yeah.
And did great. And then it was like we knew that her bursting like that wasn't quite what we were actually looking for, because we'd come up with the extra line when she's got foam on her as like that's the joke is, look at this person here, it's funny, they're covered in foam and they're still acting type thing. But it wasn't supposed to be like she burst through like that. So, but we weren't doing it again. Not after that. I was not putting Izzy through that shit anymore. Like, we were done. She by that point. So we just went with it, and it actually worked out. Like, it's a very quick edit, and you had to put the foam spray on the fire extinguisher,
I had to use
which is
a safety shot that we didn't want to use.
Yeah,
it was absolutely,
that was a safety shot. It was the absolute bottom line. If we absolutely need this, we'll
and the
use
plan was
it.
to zoom in and not even use what we used of it.
Mm-hmm.
But
It didn't work
It
zoomed
had
in.
to be used.
It didn't work zoomed in.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is the clip of Danny with the fire extinguisher, and we put the foam spray in there. I'll take over Peggle. Yeah, we put the foam spray effect, which took a while to find one and use one that you liked. And you still don't really like it.
It was the best one I could do.
Yeah.
Other people might know how to do better ones. I'm not a special effects editor. Like, Sam keeps making writing scripts with special effects in, and every time it's like, do we need the special effects? It's kind of the point of the film. Great. Cheers.
To be fair, I always ask, do you think we can do this? And you say yes, but most of the time that's inexperience. What your answer is, yes, we could do that.
Yeah.
But you don't follow that up. But we definitely shouldn't. So I take it as, well, we're fucking doing it then, hooray! You know what I mean?
Well, no. Normally, you go, can we do this? I'm like, it's like, can we do it? I was like, we could do it. It's like, cool, we're doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
We could do it.
Yeah. That's it. What's the next one? Time travel and shit. Anyway, so we got the spray effect. And that happened, but there was a shot we missed, and we actually got it, but we got it the wrong time. There's supposed to be one last shot, which is after when Danny tells Izzy, Dr. Deeds tells Pyrobelle, don't speak to your sister, and Pyrobelle turns around. She's supposed to be much further back, and it's supposed to be like a corner, a shot where she's in the left of camera, like her shoulder and stuff, and you see Dr. Deeds, and then Izzy passes the camera, and then Dr. Deeds goes back to writing something, and that's your end shot.
Yeah.
We got it earlier. Didn't get it at the end because we assumed we got it earlier, and the big flaw was she had no foam on her.
Well, the big flaw was that in the actual foam shot, when we did spray the foam, Izzy didn't walk anywhere near as far away before she turned around. So she never crossed the line, which is what the original shot was designed for.
Yeah.
So the original shot should have worked because you shouldn't have needed to see the foam. You would just see like almost a silhouette from behind.
Yeah.
and it would be fine. But because Izzy didn't move over there, suddenly, unless we made Izzy teleport, it made absolutely no sense for that shot, so that shot no longer fit.
Yeah. And then we did very briefly consider bringing Izzy back and Danny, spraying Izzy with foam and doing it again. But then we're like, no, it's not worth that hassle for that one shot. That will be a compromise ending. You know what I mean? Which I still, the ending is what the ending is. And the other shot, because we've reached the end of the production side of things, is it was a shot of... Well, the one that I missed is Dr. Deeds at the beginning. A shot for the beginning, which is Dr. Deeds at her desk writing, that would have taken a lot of time, that would have then gone in the opening credits. You had an idea, so each credit would be interspersed with Dr. Deeds in the office. So I had an idea of a wider shot of Dr. Deeds in the office. We tried with what brief shot we had of putting the shot before the credits to try and establish, because I'm not sure it's all that great at establishing it's the doctor's office. I think quite quickly the dialogue tells you it is, but it's not. It's not quite as strong an establishing of the location as I would have liked. But yeah, the shot you wanted.
Well, the shot that I wanted was the one that I mentioned before. But with that, the reason we didn't get those shots, it wasn't so much we didn't get the shots, as we didn't get long versions of the shots because we didn't plan. We didn't plan those titles. We just had the idea for those titles, after we'd already filmed. But we thought we had those shots when we had the idea for the titles.
Yeah.
And we just didn't
we had the shots not long enough. Yeah, was the issue, and we were like, "Oh, we've got these shots," and we should have, in hindsight. But we didn't actually plan titles. That was the one aspect we didn't plan of that film was our credits. Yeah. We just assumed it would be very simple, put something in. Because most of the time we just leave the camera rolling for fucking ages before we go in, and you can just take the sound away and it works. But it was not to be.
Yeah.
But yeah. So that was that. That's the film. That's the filming aspect.
Yeah.
Part 5. Now let's talk about what you think about the film. If you're happy with it, if you're not, blah, blah, blah,
blah. There's a lot of stuff that I would change.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah.
I'm not massively unhappy about it compared to some of the, I don't like any of our films. Me and Sam have this discussion a lot. Because I pretty much do all of the post-production, with the exception of Michelle Rodrigo occasionally doing the odd day on something.
Yeah, when she's not in Mexico.
Yeah, so because I spend so much fucking time looking at errors, when we get to the final film, Sam's like, oh, it's like, well, this bit's wrong, I can't see it. It's like, yeah, but look who's wrong. I can't see the mistake. Where's the mistake? It's fucking wrong!
Yeah. I fucked out, right? I have absolutely fucked out because we didn't talk about the edit. We're going to talk about the edit. Welcome back! So the fucking editing side of things. So I was supposed to be keyframing in Fire Effects.
Yeah.
Originally we built our own Fire Effects using After Effects. Realised we couldn't really do a 3D model, and then there was the Triune. Is it Triune?
It's Triune Films, Film Riot.
Yeah, Film Riot, who... Film Riot, amazing. We owe them so much. There was so much stuff that we've done because Film Riot showed it could be done.
Of our £8,000 of debt from university, I'd say about 6,000 of that should probably be owned to
Film Riot.
To Film Riot, and the rest is just rental fees for equipment.
Film Riot, Ryan Connolly, I think we credit them in the credits of our feature film, which will see the light of day on YouTube at some point. But so the fire effect we built, it wasn't bad. I might have put a clip in already. The hand one worked really well. The one where Izzy needs to be on fire did not work.
No.
So we got these Triune fire effects, which are really good fire assets. Really work. The Izzy, you have a Peggle if you want. The Izzy being on fire was actually supposed to be much less. It was going to be her hands around her head, and then her body was going to glow type thing, a bit like Human Torch style. But then as it went on, it was clear. Actually, it's easier and better to just have fire exploding the whole, exploding out of her, the whole thing. And we did talk about she makes flames, manipulates them in shapes and stuff. So I was like, that really fucking works. And then I remember telling you, keep the effect on longer. Because you had it Izzy, and then the spray starts, and then it's gone. And I was like, no, keep the tertiary aspects of the shot. Keep those fire effects, fade them out. The effect that it works, but it definitely isn't as effective as I thought it was going to be, but it also might just be it's not as effective. Not necessarily the effect, but it's just not that effective. It's the eyes. You know, the banging of the eyes. Like, it just doesn't... it's cool, but it just doesn't quite pull off.
There's two problems with the eyes. One is it doesn't match the eyes later in the film. Because later on, I figured out a much better way to do it, but that way does not work in that clip.
Yeah.
And the second part is that there wasn't good timing. Like how the acting is.
Yeah, we did it.
It wasn't like that acting. It's not like a thing for Izzy. Like that blocking of the acting wasn't planned to have an eye thing. It was just at some point we're going to have an eye glow.
Yeah.
It might be around that area.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like planned out to be like this is where an eye glow is going to happen.
Izzy was given no instruction to slow down or do a bang on a certain mark or any beats or any of that.
No.
So it was just like we assumed we just fit one in. It seemed simple, make an eye glow, but then it was like we did it quick, didn't fucking fit. We did it long, it didn't fucking fit.
No.
So it still doesn't quite fit for me.
No.
I don't notice it being different than the other one, but that might be because her face is covered in fucking flames at that point. So I'm like, and then that's it really. There aren't any other real effects. There was just a couple of issues with sound.
Yeah, I'm sure there's still issues with sound.
Yeah, the sound. The weakest part of our filmmaking is sound. Yeah. It still is. We're working on it, and we want to get a sound mixer in. That's like someone we want to find. Is someone who can work on sound, and like when there's budgets, absolutely, I'll fucking pay that person top dollar wage if they just tell me how much it is to afford for the big projects. For a small YouTube project like this, that kind of cost wasn't worth it. I think the sound's a lot stronger than some of our other films, but that isn't necessarily.
The sound's getting better.
Slowly we're getting
there. Through.
Slowly we're starting to understand dynamics.
Like one thing, like I mentioned to you, like the other day when we were finishing this up, like for people that know about sound, this is going to sound stupid, and for people that don't know about sound, the fact that this is wrong is going to sound stupid. I only found out the other day that 12 decibels is not double 6 decibels. Like that, you would think that 12 would be double 6, but in sound that's not the case. That's not how shit works. So yeah, like the amount of times that like I've basically when I plus 6 to get it to go louder, when I then minus 6, that doesn't go back to how it was before. That's now different. Yeah. So I have no idea how you balance that properly.
Yeah. We had an issue, which was it was too quiet.
Yeah.
Like it was loud, but then with the effects and everything else we put on, it was just too quiet, and it was like the intro sounded loud and fine until a character was loud, which was actually Danny stood up, ignokinesis, and after that, everything sounded too fucking quiet.
Yeah.
So we like looked at making it louder using decibels, and you'd put like +1, and it would go massively different, and it would be, we were finding in the end like it worked, but yeah, there was a bit, you know, like you saying you always see the flaw. There was a bit where you were like, there's a flaw with one of Danny's audios, but I don't know when.
No, it's not Danny's audio. Right, at some point in the film, I think it actually is multiple times. Due to bumps and whatnot, I've removed all the audio.
Yeah.
Like there is no audio; it's complete dead sound. But I don't know where it is, so it can't be that bad.
Yeah.
Like
there is a bit.
If you look for it, I'm sure it's there. But I can't tell you which bit it is, so it's fine.
Oh, you've got flippers when you click.
Okay. What does that mean?
Click.
Ah, okay.
And you flip it.
So it's like it's
pinball.
I didn't flip.
Might be left.
Is it left click does both?
I don't know.
I'll find out.
Do right click and left click.
Yeah, left click does both.
Okay.
But yeah, anyway.
There's a couple of things with the audio where like the room tone seems to pop out, or there's like a little change in the room tone, which is down to the fucking room.
And down to dynamics, like different. Obviously, when we're closer to actors, it's louder. So when you match that sound, the room tone's going to be slightly louder on some than others.
There are a couple of bits later on where I notice it, but to be honest, like, it's not. Like, it's not something I'm saying should be there, but it's not a deal breaker, hopefully. And if people are like, oh, I love that film, like, acting's great, effects great, story's great, but the fucking room tone popped in and out a couple of times, and that's their main criticism, I'm okay with that. Yeah. That's something I'm going to work on and look at, but at the same time, like, that means that film isn't too bad, you know? Looking at the film as a whole, it is roughly, it's 8 minutes, the film.
Yeah.
And the script
Just
was
over.
9 pages.
Yeah.
So it's roughly to time. Roughly. Because we never properly time our scripts.
Well, if you go by that, like, if there's bits where I've cut it and I've retimed it, how the actors played it, it'd be about 9 minutes. It'd be 9 to
Well, there
10
you go,
minutes.
then.
So
That
it's
was
pretty
one of our
close.
better timed things. I feel it's a bit slow at the beginning. I probably could have shredded some of the dialogue down, but I do really love the way it was delivered and performed. And it gets going longer, but I do like that it has a build, and I feel like it does build to somewhere and then there's a payoff. Hopefully there's some humour in it. I don't think it's an out-and-out funny film, but someone gets covered in foam at the end. So, you know, there's always a joy. Things I learned from this, rehearsals. You got to get those fucking rehearsals in, man. Get your actors in and get them rehearsed, because they'll find different shit in that script. And get them rehearsing at the location if you can as well. I understand not every film we make is going to be that. You're not going to be able to. You're just not. But that was some of the best acting, kind of, or easiest, like, get them in, they're doing what they can type thing. And there's other actors I've worked with in other stuff, and I'm like, if I had given them rehearsals, I'm sure they could have done like a stronger job or a better job, or would have just found it easier. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Which is, it's also the expenses of bringing people in, etc. But it's definitely something, which is something we're doing going forward. So that's awesome. I really like the fire effects. Really, really like it. And it's the little bits like the glow and the little as like her wrist goes off and stuff. Really, really proud of that bit. Really proud of Izzy and Danny for what they did a fucking great job. And I had a moment where I got to feel like a director. So, all in all, I actually think it was a bit of a success. I'm not saying it's the best film ever made or any of that shit, but I think it shows an improvement in our work. You compare that to some of our earlier stuff, I definitely think it's the step in the right direction that you want to be seeing. Yeah.
I
That's it,
learned
right.
that I should rip your scripts apart when you send them to me and write loads of notes all over them, and then we end up with a better script, because it's much easier for me to do that than it is to try to explain why I don't like something.
Well, that's what we did. It wasn't actually Pyrobelle, it was Mistake was actually the first film. It's called the green font treatment, we call it now. Because I said, when I've done a draft, I send Tom a draft. And when it's like, there needs to be big story structure changes, then we discuss it. And we talk about, we bounce ideas off each other, and often we end up with a stronger idea because of it. But when it's lines and things, like, very often it will be, right, Tom, I'm just writing fucking everything. I'm putting everything that I want to say with a line or everything in. You go back and green font it, I call it now. It's called green fonting. And I get a return copy with green font, with lines changed.
Basically, every line changed. Because Sam writes...
my first draft.
with Sam's direct, like, not even just with your first drafts, like, because of your, like, what your directing style is, if we're going to, like, keep you, like, calling you a director sort of thing, as we have been throughout.
My
right?
directing style.
Your style is,
Directing
you
style.
write, like, your lines are designed to be loose.
Yeah.
And for the actor to sort of take them on. Whereas, when I'm trying to block stuff out, my style is to write exactly what I think they should fucking say, and they should not change anything. So I write exactly what they should say after you've written what you want them to say, and then we go back and go, that's not exactly what I wanted them to say. Okay, change that. And we fix it that way.
Yeah, we move it that way.
Yeah.
And sometimes I have key lines, but very often, like, my view on it is, like, I've always seen film as collaborative. You can't get where you act to your actor is an amazing resource. And I love giving actors, like, I tell the actors, I always tell them, like, it's your character now, you do the fucking work. If you think your character should do X or Y or Z, I'm there with you, just explain it to me. And if you can explain it to me, then boom, it's yours. It's your character. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which, with rehearsals, definitely enhances that element of it. But, like, Pyrobelle, Izzy made Joy Turner, Pyrobelle, her character.
Yeah.
Danny was probably Dr. G straight away, to be honest. Like, she seemed to get that character like that. Which, what's funny with Danny, she said, like, oh, I don't normally play characters like that. Normally I get, like, the ex-girlfriend or a prostitute.
Yeah.
A lady of
Which,
negotiable
in fairness,
affection.
seems to be the case for a lot of female, like, actresses
Yeah,
and
that-
whatnot we've
that-
worked with. Like, they all seem to go, oh yeah, normally I just get prostitutes. Really?
Prostitutes or victims
Ah.
seem to be, and occasionally zombies.
Yeah.
And that's it, which is weird, because, you know, actors can do so much more.
Yeah.
Especially Danny and Izzy. They're pretty good. yeah, so overall, I enjoyed making this one. I actually did. The editing went actually smoother than I thought it was going to. I thought there'd be a lot of months of keyframing and fire. Didn't end up being that.
Yeah, a lot of that's down to like the change that I made in the fire.
Yeah.
How it was originally going to be done, for people that have actually sat and watched this film before this thing, is kind of Sam. You wanted it like
Human Torch was the
Human
kind of
Torch.
thing I was seeing.
And as I said to him at the time, we could do that, but that's going to take months and months and months.
Yeah, and I was like, fine. Like, we will film it. You do the initial effect. Give me a fucking tutorial. I will keyframe it in my own time on my little editing Mac that I edit on. Like, I was fine with that. So, because you keyframe lightsabers in the feature film, which will eventually make its way to YouTube, and that was like 6 months. And you didn't want another 6 months, and I was fine with that.
It was 3 months for that, but then we had another effect, and then there was a scene where I went frame by frame and blurred out sections of it after exporting it as still images.
Yeah.
Because the focus was off, and that destroyed the scene.
Yeah.
Like, it was off enough to destroy the scene.
Yeah. So I thought editing was going to take longer, but it didn't. It went really smooth.
Yeah.
There was a lot of like... What I like about our editing is it's very much like you do a cut and then I come in and then I just move lines around, or I just move little performances around. With this one, like, I'd taken all the raw footage, so I'd watched all our raw shots, so I knew that's a good performance for this line, that's good. So I was able to say, like, I think Izzy's performance is here, I want more of Izzy's face or more of Danny at this point. Which I just tweak. At that point, I'm just tweaking little things. And then sometimes my tweaks don't work. Sometimes they're spot on. There was one, I can't remember what it was, but it was some line, and you were like, yeah, that works much better. Good call on that.
Yeah.
I was like, damn fucking right.
I can't remember what line it was.
Praise.
But basically, I'd cut it based on the shots. Like, the shots compared, the other line matched up much better as sort of like an editor, like what the action's happening and stuff. But then putting it in, the other line in, how it played, it sound like performance-wise, it was so much better that it was worth the effort to then move the other shots around after to fit that in and force that line in. And like, because I'm the editor and it's me that has to do all the random shit, like, there's times where I'm like, no, this line's good enough. And like, you were very much, no, this line is much better. Like, if you can get this, please try to get this line to work. And then after I did it, I was like, yeah, okay, fair play.
Yeah. Which is, again, it's part of that collaborative process. Like, you edit the scripts, I tweak the edit, boom. We work throughout. It isn't just one person leads and the other one supports. At whatever point of a film we're doing. And then Michelle Rodrigo comes in and just...
screams and beats you.
Screams, beats, and comes off heroin. But anyway, so, that was that. If I'm going to leave... if you've listened to the end, I don't know if this is in parts or what, depends what time it is, I don't know how long it's taken and the different shots and stuff, then I'm going to give one piece of advice to anyone who wants to make a film a bit like that. If you're going to have an actor sprayed with foam, make sure they bring changes of clothes and a towel. Poor Izzy.
Piece of advice I would give, but it's mainly just based on how I pictured the film. So if you want to remake our film, you should do it, right? But have them move about more and not just be sat down. Yeah. I don't actually know if that will make it better, but that's how I pictured it. So
yeah, we cut out some of the movement. We did have them move over to get the fire extinguisher stuff, but it was very much people sat down. It was not supposed to be a complex. In my head, I did not see a complex thing blocked out. I just saw two people. No. Especially with Anti-Hero, which, when that comes out,
that will be much more complex, hopefully.
Brilliantly so.
It's possible that, when you eventually, that comes out, if you see this before, it's possible that we're completely wrong with that and that we've had to simplify it so much that it's really fucking dull and rubbish. But, who knows?
If Anti-Hero ends up dull and rubbish, it is not for lack of fucking trying. Because we have blocked out so much good action and so much. That's such a cool, different film for us to make. Whether we do a good job, we're going to be better filmmakers for making that. And I feel a better filmmaker for making this. And that's what you want to be. You want to come out of a film happy with what you made, or satisfied with what you made. I'm happy. I'd say you're more satisfied. As satisfied as you can be. Tom saying I don't hate it is Tom's equivalent of yeah, it's okay.
Oh.
That's Tom.
I'm never going to watch it, but...
You've watched it like a billion times.
Exactly! I'm never going to watch it on
It's the problem
YouTube.
with editing. We should watch it once to give us a view.
No, I'll put it on in the background, I'll mute it, and I'll like it.
Yeah, there we go. Just like all our films. Yeah, so that's it. Thank you for listening. I hope there was some interest or help or anything. If anyone has any questions or anything about any of the film,
Yeah, you can ask.
Just comment.
Yeah.
Just get in touch.
Even if you have questions, like, you know, if something this gets big, we'll make a video with it. Like, if you just have questions about, like, being a fucking
Poor ass filmmaker that makes no money.
in the UK that doesn't have the budget for anything and doesn't have connections or anything useful to get films made easier.
Or you're looking for 1,000 film-related uses for gaffer tape. We are the people to contact, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Right. Well, thanks for watching. Peggle's awesome.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.